Welcome. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Ideally, we would have done this as an actual launch and have gotten you in here in person, but with COVID and the situation being what it is, we have to do it like this. So, first off, let me start by formally thanking you for joining me here and welcoming you to the virtual launch of JumpToPC. The team here is we are the three core members of the team. That's me. I'm Sucheta Baliga, and I'm the CEO and founder of JumpStream. We have Dan Sweeney. He's a CTO. And
hello, everyone. Thank you.
Yes, Dan's joining us all the way from Boston right now.
Yeah.
Yes, early in the morning for Dan. And we also have Soumya.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Soumya here.
So good. I think we're good to go. So let me quickly start by a small introduction or a background into why we're doing what we're doing. So over the last year, as we all know, with the pandemic and COVID, which has impacted all of us in some form or the other, whether it's our, day-to-day living, the whole lockdown period, and our businesses, whatever it may be. I think we can all agree that the biggest impact has been on students and their education. So initially, when it was in April and May, I think most of the schools were off, so I think it was fine. But by June, it had become a situation because online classes had started. I think if anyone else can mute, if everyone else can mute, otherwise there's a slight echo. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's fine now. So by June, when online classes had begun, suddenly it was another issue altogether because suddenly all students were on their phone, and studying and looking at your phone for 3 hours was impossible. And this was not just us, it was everybody. Students from class 3, class 2, all of them were spending 4 or 5 hours on the phone. And this was basically because of two main issues. One is a lack of laptops or desktops, because less than 10% of households in India have laptops or desktops, and they're all limited mostly to the city areas. And secondly, it was because of a lack of Wi-Fi. Now, when there's no broadband, so you cannot connect your laptop or a computer, so you don't end up buying it. Affordability is a huge challenge. So we realized that there was a massive need gap which affects a huge segment of our population, India being one of the youngest countries. And you must all have seen at least one of these articles saying that, how difficult it is for Indian students and what the problems that they're facing. So now, apart from studying, which is on one side where you are not able to study properly, you're not able to attend your online classes. The other side is nowadays, with the need for remote learning and work from home, even basic jobs right now need you to have some level of knowledge of data entry, or how to make a resume, or how to type in. And if you're doing it on your phone, that's just not possible, because you're just tapping on your phone, you're not typing. And more young adults right now in India know how to edit a video perfectly on Instagram or TikTok, but they can't make a resume because they've never worked on a computer before. They don't know how to type. They don't know how an Excel looks like, because even if you've opened an Excel or a Word doc on your phone, you know how difficult it is to edit it. So we knew that there was a problem here, and there was a challenge and a need gap. And we thought that we could kind of, give some sort of solution here. What that solution is and how we've done it, I think Dan Sweeney will now do a demo about it. So that's time for the demo. Dan, take over.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for that intro, Sucheta. Hello, everyone. For those of you that just joined, I'm Dan Sweeney again. I'm the CTO. And actually, what I'm going to do is, hopefully what you're all excited to see is a quick demo. I think maybe we can stop the screen share right now, because I'll be able to go full screen.
Yeah, I'll just do
that. Okay. So for JumpToPC, we need a couple of things that you probably already have. And one of those is a television. And so here today I have just a very simple flat panel. This is like a 10-year-old TV. and then a smartphone. This is just a regular Oppo model. So the rest of the pieces that I have in front of us here, just make sure I can see, make sure you can see it clearly. I've received my JumpToPC kit and I actually already unboxed it. So I'm just going to kind of take you through the pieces and then we'll set those up quickly and launch and start using JumpToPC within just a few minutes here. So the first pieces you'll probably recognize, we have a nice thin keyboard with like nice tactile soft touch keys, a laser optical mouse, which plugs in by USB. We also have a USB hub and a USB OTG cable. I'll show you what these are going to be for soon. And then we have a AV connector. Again, I'll explain that in a little bit. And the last kind of maybe most important piece is a wireless device which plugs into the TV, and that's actually how we pair up the mobile phone and the TV. And then there's some nice documentation. We have a good easy setup guide in the box, along with a lot of things online. So if you need any help with the setup, there's lots of resources there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to run the setup really quickly. If you have the mobile app, it actually takes you through a lot of these steps. Or if you have the easy setup guide in paper, it does the same thing. So I'm going to launch the mobile app, and right away I'll get two options. I'll either be able to continue to my PC desktop, or set up my JumpToPC. So I'm a new user, and I'm going to go ahead and do the setup. So if I click that, the first thing it asks me to do is install the device. So this will be a one-time thing. So the wireless device has a couple of features here. It kind of looks like a dongle, and it has a HDMI output. Thanks, Somya. And it has USB power input. So for most TVs that you're buying these days, you'll probably have an HDMI connection into the TV. But one thing that we worked on quite a lot was adding the functionality for older TVs, so the box style TVs. So in that case, we would ignore the HDMI, put that away, plug in the other connector, and now we can use the familiar AV or CVBS cables.
The red, white, yellow cables.
Wait, what?
The red, white, and yellow cables. That's what, yeah.
Red, white, and yellow cables, clearly on the video here. So I'm gonna, for this TV, actually, it takes an HDMI, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in to the back of the TV here on my HDMI input. And then some TVs would have a USB power already on board. In my case, I don't. So I have a power brick. Hopefully you can see that here. I've just plugged it in on a strip.
It's basically a phone charger. You can use that.
Exactly. So then we just power on the TV. And in my case, it was already on the correct input, luckily. So the boot screen, the launch screen for JumpToPC comes up immediately. And what it tells me here is it's waiting to connect to my smartphone. And then it has a device ID. In case I don't have the app, there's a QR code, so I could just quickly scan that and I could download the app easily. So we'll go ahead to the next step. The next piece would be installing the OTG cable and accessories. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So the OTG cable, many of you might be familiar with it already, but that just plugs into your regular USB charging port on the smartphone. And basically it's an extender now, so we can connect our peripheral components, the keyboard and the mouse. So we first do OTG cable, and then we install the USB hub. And then finally, the keyboard and the mouse plug into the USB hub. So very similar to how you might set up your desktop. You connect all these pieces together. And the last piece that we'll do is actually enable, we call it jumping, but it's mirroring the screen of the mobile phone onto the TV. So that's going to kind of complete our PC experience. So when I click the next button, I see a device ID on my phone screen, and it happens to match the device ID here. So the app actually scans and searches for available devices in the area. I'll explain that's a good question. I think we can explain that mode, but basically it's a peer-to-peer connection that we're about to make. So as soon as I tap the ID, there's a wireless connection actually over something like Wi-Fi, but peer-to-peer, so it's not meeting on the internet. So now you can see everything on my phone appears on the TV. So success. The last piece that we need to do is enable OTG. So this is a little bit different on different phones. So very quickly, I open the OTG setting on my phone. And that's the last piece. And now JumpToPC creates my desktop environment.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
That's done.
yes. Voila. So I'm gonna give you just a quick tour as well, if that's okay, Sucheta.
Of course. Go
Sure.
ahead.
So if you can see it clearly, this is what my desktop looks like. This is, my first time using it. So usually it'll give a quick tour if it's your first time opening the app. We have a taskbar with a few different options at the bottom. And you'll notice I have my primary applications along the top here. So I'm just going to show you maybe a couple of use cases that I've done just very quickly. So one is the Chrome browser. If I click that, notice that I'm doing everything now with keyboard and mouse. I've set the phone aside. So if I open my browser, actually just earlier today, I was working on a Python code, which is much easier when I have my keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
So I'll open my Python Anywhere IDE. And there's a lot of really good content for how to use this, but within just a few seconds, I can be scripting and running Python code online, actually without the need of an app. And we have some good resources in our app to learn how to do this. So browser features work really well. Things like Google Docs become way easier. So I'm going to launch a Google Doc really quickly. If you can imagine doing this on your phone with your thumbs, it's not very helpful. Maybe we can read docs or give quick comments, but to actually work on a full document is not really possible. So here I can easily go into my document, click the edit button, choose the font, and begin writing.
Another thing about this is that if you use it on your phone, 70% of your screen gets, blocked by the keyboard, your virtual keyboard. But when you use it with JumpToPC, the keyboard is hidden because you're using a physical keyboard. And that's the reason you get, you can access a lot more content and use more space of the screen.
Yeah, exactly. The last thing I just wanted to show, when we're finally done and we want to exit and finish up, we also made that feature very easy. So in the upper right, you can quickly exit the app within one click. And now the phone is back to normal. And again, your TV is back in normal operation. It's waiting to reconnect, but now you could go back to other viewing. So that's the demo. Maybe we can bring the slides back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I guess, yeah, we could, are there any questions we haven't gotten to real quick?
We have a few questions done if you want to take them while Soumya connects the slides again.
Okay. Okay, so.
We have.
Yeah, maybe you can help.
Here. Okay.
Okay, accessing calls. Actually, that's a really nice feature. Yes, you can access calls. we actually do, a lot of Zoom calls. It's especially nice because you can take the phone, and I like to prop it up against the TV. And so we could do a video call very easily with your video on the big screen on the TV. So if multiple people are viewing, it makes it really convenient. But just a lot like sitting and using your laptop. It works really well. Okay, so for MS Office, yes. So you'll note that a lot of these software and applications are really well supported on Android. And actually, most of them are free on Android through the Play Store. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint are all available, usable for free. If you've ever tried to use Excel on a mobile phone without a keyboard or mouse, it's very, very difficult. So I think this actually enables you to do much more with that. Google Sheets, Google Docs typically come automatically on the phone. So those are quite easy to use. There's a lot of educational content, a lot of computer programming content, a lot of, early entry level computer usage. We've actually created a little bit of our own content just to fill some gaps on, say, using a mouse and keyboard. The wireless connection somebody asked about. So this is, one piece of our core technology for JumpToPC. It uses a protocol called Wi-Fi Direct. So it's sort of uses your Wi-Fi antenna, but not to connect to a local Wi-Fi internet network.
Basically,
Instead,
have the Wi-Fi button on, but it doesn't need to be connected to anything.
correct.
Okay. So we have a few more questions. I think, do you want to continue doing the questions, Dan, or?
Yeah, but I'm not keeping up. Sorry, I'm not looking at, I don't see them on my screen. So.
We'll just do a quick run through of the questions. It works, like I said, you can access the internet via mobile data or Wi-Fi. So obviously to download the app for the very first time, you need to have a data or an internet connection. But after that, if you have preloaded content or you have gone to a place where there is Wi-Fi and you've downloaded content and now you want to stream it, you don't need to have any connection. You could be offline. Any of our connection, the JumpToPC setup, does not require any internet connection. You can be completely offline. It's only if you want to stream or you want to access online content, which is when obviously you'll need an internet connection, but JumpToPC on its own does not. MS Office, of course, can be used. Word and Excel, the free apps that come on the phone can be used, which is one of the biggest advantages because these apps are not very easy. Like Dan mentioned, how with the keyboard and everything, this makes it really easy. We try and have no paywalls, so there are no premium content. Like you can obviously access premium content, but we don't have any, and we prefer not to have any paywall. So everything, once you buy the device, is all free. No subscription, no recurring costs, nothing of that sort. And if anyone calls, you could pick it up right then, and or you could just press disconnect and pick up the call and then get back to it, which is why we've enabled a one-tap connect and disconnect so that such issues don't happen. And if you've noticed, no notifications also pop up. So I'm sure Dan received like 500 messages in this during the time of the duration of the demo, but none of those. We care about your privacy, and we also know that you need to be like, even if this phone is being used by kids in your household or you've passed it along to someone else, you don't want your personal messages showing up on screen or OTPs. So we've ensured that no notifications come up on the big screen, so your privacy is protected. Yes, so the smartphone display needs to be on. Yes, it does. Yeah. So basically, your phone right now is acting like a CPU, and most of the content is on the phone, right? So obviously, yes, it does need to be on because otherwise the lock screen appears on the TV. So Alicia, it's a combination. So we are hardware plus software. So we have the hardware to connect from the phone to the TV, which was the dongle that Dan showed you. The app helps with ease of connection to set up the whole kit, as well as access content and do other things. So we need a combination of both the product as well as the app. So I think we can move ahead. So like I said, JumpToPC, or like Dan said, JumpToPC connects on any mobile network or without, and it jumps to any TV, whether it's your box TV, your flat screen, your smart screen. We like to say it makes all TVs smart. Cool, Soumya?
Yeah.
I think Dan has done
Yeah.
like a description of what the app is, but if you just want to show some more highlights somewhere, is there anything else you want to particularly point out?
There are, okay, so most of the things Dan has explained, but a couple of things that I would like to highlight is about first time users, not knowing how to use a keyboard and mouse. There are interactive keyboard and mouse tutorials within the JumpToPC app, which you can use. So if you want, I can show that.
The tutorials? No, I think
Yeah,
we just
okay.
highlight it. I mean, if you can see it on the taskbar, we have a simple mouse tutorial. We also have a keyboard
Yes.
tutorial.
And Dan mentioned that we have a host of educational content available from across various learning platforms, such as Khan Academy, then Merit Nation, National Digital Library, and some special premium content from BrainPop as well, which you get access to if you use it through the JumpToPC app.
Yes. So that's our app.
Yeah.
Now we've given you a description and a demo of our hardware, and you've seen our app in action as well. So how does this help? Why should somebody use JumpToPC? So Soumya?
Yeah. So JumpToPC can be used either at home on an individual level or at a community level if you're using it in classrooms or group learning anywhere. So at home, you can attend online classes or like Zoom meetings, and you can also, work on the basic office tools that you have on your phone, or use it for watching offline content. So there are a lot of places where there is very little access to internet or mobile data. So for those people, you can use preload. You can actually watch preloaded content with the help of JumpToPC without worrying about having access to internet. And the best part is that it connects with anything and everything, be it a CRT TV, a projector, or a display monitor.
Yes.
And as we all know that, as you can see in the picture on the left, the students here, so this is basically clicked in a demonstration that was done in a school in Varanasi. And these kids, as you can see, they've never ever watched anything, like they've never gotten access to a computer or a laptop. So for them, it was like a very first experience of a monitor or a larger display where you can, type and navigate across. So for these people also, they love the new experience. And we all know that visual learning is always better than theoretical learning and reading. So it definitely improves the engagement and increases and enhances the performance of these students.
Yes. So whether it's at home or whether it's at community learning, so at home, whether for individual students doing online classes, coaching classes, or just wanting to learn digital tools, productivity tools, or on a community setting where there is one projector, one teacher, a group of students which needs to be taught to a larger group of students, it can be used with both, because like Soumya said, our device connects to projectors, CRTs, the whole works. And the app obviously is free to download. Cool. So that's why I JumpToPC. And now I think we've spoken enough. We should hear from one of our first customers who bought the device, and she'll tell us about her experience. And I think that would be the best way to move forward right now. So Stuti, do you want to give us a quick...
Can you see me?
Yes, Stuti, we can, and we can hear you.
Yeah, okay, great. So good evening, one and all. Hope you all are doing great. I am Stuti and I'm from grade 9. First of all, I'm really honored and grateful to be part of this launch of the very amazing product Jump to PC. Trust me when I say this is amazing because I have been part of the pilot program of this product. So let me share my experience with you. At the dawn of the pandemic, I had a sudden urge to do something productive because I had a lot of leisure time in my hands. So that time I decided to go forward with my passion, which is graphic designing. So unfortunately, my laptop wasn't working and nothing was open to repair it. So that's why I use my smartphone. But my smartphone was not at all compatible for graphic designing because the screen was too small, and also it used to get stuck a lot, so it wasn't efficient at all. Fortunately, I got my hands on Jump to PC, and because of this, I could design posters and proceed with my course really well. I use software like Canva, Adobe, Photoshop, and that's it. Like, I really loved graphic designing, and yes, I used my lockdown time really well. But then after a month or two, I officially entered ninth grade, but in a different way because it was online, obviously. Again, I used my mobile for the initial days, but then it was really difficult because whenever the teacher was interacting, the audio was too low, and the presentation wasn't very visible, and the presentation wasn't really eligible at all. But then I got this idea to use Jump to PC again. Fortunately, luckily, my online classes are going great because of Jump to PC, and I can't be more grateful. My assignments, I'm keeping I'm up to date with my assignments because I can type really well and then submit it on time, which I'm sure that I couldn't do with my mobile because the notification popping up and distraction was a lot. So I think I don't have to describe more about this product because I think my experience speaks for it. So yeah, the only thing I can say is it's worth your investment, and also you will not be disappointed. With this, I conclude my experience. All the best to the team, and I wish you all the luck for your future endeavors. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Stuti. That's such a glowing recommendation. Now it looks like we've paid you for this. But this is a true case, guys. We did not have to bribe her in any way or form. She genuinely was one of our first customers, and I think she's utilized it to the max. So, yes. That's Jump to PC. We've done our virtual launch. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. You've been asking anyway, but if you have any other thoughts. And yes, so because you've all joined us here today, we have a special, what do we say, a coupon for you. So at any point, if you, oh, sorry, I missed this. So we have to talk a little bit about Jump to PC in action otherwise as well, because we've conducted some other pilots apart from Stuti. And overall, I think we should highlight the fact that wherever we have Jump to PC in action, the participation is improved. There have been tests taken, a week prior to Jump to PC in their lives and after, and we've seen that, the test performance has been better. Engagement time, which on the phone used to be an hour or two every day, that too with difficulty, because again, like we can imagine studying like this causes neck pain and strain, but now suddenly the engagement time has increased to 4 to 6 hours. So that's on the customer side. Also, on the other side, we've been participating in a few challenges. So one was with the MIT Boston, because of Dan, we got to participate in this MIT Solve Challenge, and we were the winner of the Community Award and one of the finalists, 15 finalists. And similarly, we also participated in another grant, and we were finalists in that as well. And of course, Dan, would you like to speak about our collaboration with D-Lab? You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so we have a good collaboration with a lab at D-Lab, the Development and Design Lab, where they do a lot of technology development and education. They've been working with us on some of the technology design, the hardware testing a little bit, and also some content creation with a couple of MIT professors and a lot of MIT students actually involved too.
So that's what we've been doing over the last year besides sales. So we've been participating in this. Now, like Shravan has all mentioned already, we have the entertainment vision for this product as well. Because while, yes, with the whole kit, you can obviously do a lot. It converts your phone and your TV, which are your basically devices that exist in your household, into a computer. But what if you just want to supersize something? You've been watching content on your phone, you want to see it on the big screen, you want to watch it together with a bunch of friends or family, you went on a trip or you went for a family function, and you just want to, show it to your friends and family, the photos and videos that you took during that time. And now what we do is we kind of pass the phone around, or again, like I said, we have the phone in our hand and five people jump and look at it. Instead of that, all of this can now be on the big screen. We have a separate Jump to TV app for this as well. And on this, we have aggregated all the free content. Like I said, we do not want to have any paywalls. So you don't need to have multiple apps. All the app content is available on one platform, Jump to TV. So whether it's Z5, your Voot, your MX, all of that. And obviously, like I said, no subscription. So you can now don't have to download multiple apps, save the memory on your phone, and instead have one app. So with this, with Jump to TV, you just get the dongle, which is the supersizing or jumping, like we call it, and not the keyboard and the peripherals. So yes, that's Jump to TV and Jump to PC. And like I said, which is what I was mentioning here, is your coupon. So if you're interested in buying, or if you're interested in this at all in any way, we have coupon codes for both Jump to TV and Jump to PC. So you can go to the website. On our website, the code is already there on our chat. So yes, please, you can visit the website, put in this code, you get a discount. And if you want to separately talk to us, we can do that as well. Okay, will there be software updates? We will have some software updates once in a while. But Dan, how often do you think that'll be?
So for the mobile app, there will be regular updates that come out through the Play Store. For the hardware, I don't envision that we'll be updating a lot, but there's a function for doing that. Actually, just over internet connection. But we understand that we, don't want to rely a lot on regular internet connection in case people spend a lot of time offline. So it's unlikely, but yeah, we do have that functionality built in.
Yes.
And I'm actually now also on the call using JumpToPC. So if you're looking at my video, you can see me. Yeah, we've logged in on the mobile phone and we're jumping that. And yeah, there's a lot of video going on in my space right now. But
Shravan, what's a use case? So far we've had a couple of use cases. One, like that's which is why we mentioned it separately. One is individual, where instead of on the phone, if you want to supersize the content that you're watching, you use it for online classes. You use it, like Stuti said, to learn new courses, whether it's graphic designing, whether it's coding, things which you can't generally do on your phone. So use case for Jump to PC at home is exactly like that of a computer, where your phone is now the CPU, the monitor is basically your display, and we obviously provide the peripherals. So now you have a computer with your existing devices. So that's the use case for Jump to PC at home. During pandemic, obviously there are online classes, but even after that, there, with the bunch of coaching apps, content, everything that's available, we will always have the need for Jump to PC like system. There's also another, which is the community setup. On the community side, it's basically like we mentioned, when there are a group of students who need to be taught and content needs to be curated, learning is better when it's visual. And as more and more schools are moving towards smart schools and smart classrooms where they have a projector, all of that, the cost of it goes up tremendously high with, like, with the whole display for a projector, etc. Instead of that, with a simple, with a very, you can see the price of it, with a very affordable device, you can connect this to anything, regardless of what display you have. So the whole price comes down really cheap. Children are more engaged when it's more visual and interactive. So there's a community learning angle to this as well.
I think my question was misunderstood. So
Sorry.
when I meant jump to PC, like, does it mean you'll be mirroring to a PC, or what does it mean?
Oh no, so Jump to TV was, you're right. We started off with Jump to TV because it was jumping to a TV. This also jumps to a TV, but it becomes a PC. So it's just a name change, which is Jump to TV and Jump to PC. But
So what is the difference between those two? I didn't understand that.
uh, PC is just a advanced version of TV where we also have peripherals and a separate app. Jump to TV is just to supersize your phone content. Jump to PC basically converts, along with the app, your phone and TV into a computer.
Okay.
If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask us.
Yeah, Sujata,
Yes.
is your device breaching copyright of any branded computers? Will you have a lawsuit? Because after purchasing this device, we don't want to land in problems. So, have you thought about it?
We are not breaching any copyright. We have no such, we've kind of made the device on our own. We've assembled it with certain parts. The tech is also something that we've innovated on. We use standard generic keyboards and laptops, keyboards and mouse. So the peripherals are something that we buy. But again, no breaching of any copyright as such. Dan?
Yeah, and if you're asking about the content, so we're not trying to include any content which is not available freely or which is not which you can't share across.
Yeah, we're not pirating anything.
Yeah, it's not piracy.
Yeah, we've not copied the designs from somewhere or stolen anything. Even the keyboards, etc., that we're buying, we buy it, and they know what they're going to use the keyboard for.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And can memory stick be used with this device? Because where do we connect this memory stick? Because I have a lot of data on my memory stick which I have to use for teaching. How do I connect memory stick when I use this dongle?
Is
Like
it
jump.
Dan, do you want to take this?
Yeah. So you could have, if you have like a micro SD card, which you put in your phone, you can do that. If you have just a regular USB flash drive, thumb drive, you can just put it into the hub. We still have 2 spaces available. As you can, I don't know if you can see that on my video. So,
No, Dan, can you get the hub a little closer?
it's connected. Yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
spotlighted
still
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that hub included in the hardware or
Yes.
do we have in
Yes,
the
sir.
It is. All of this is included. The hub.
Would you like to see
Everything
what's
is-
there in the box?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna do an unboxing.
Yeah. I hope it's visible.
Guys,
Okay,
in the meantime, if you have any other questions, you can drop it in the chat. Otherwise, please leave your name and email ID so that we can just get back to you and ask you for some feedback, and your phone number and any organization that you're affiliated with. Please kind of drop it in the chat. Shravan, the warranty period is a year. So it's a full replacement warranty. Soumya, yeah, continue.
Yeah. So this is what comes in the JumpToPC box. Basically, I'm sorry. So you have the device,
Now we can
the main device. I hope it's visible.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the device. You get the USB hub as you were asking,
Okay.
4-port hub. In case you have a CRT TV or like a TV which is not compatible with HDMI, you get a AV cable. Like it's included in all boxes. And you get a compatible OTG cable based on which phone model you have. So when you place the order, you need to specify your phone model, and based on that, we provide the compatible OTG cable. Apart from that, you have the wired mouse
Oh, which reminds me how a lot of people have asked us why we don't use Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. That's basically because the cost of the batteries then becomes a cost to the customers. The first time, even if we provide, they will have to replace it. And generally, for devices like this, the battery needs and usage is slightly high. So again, that's an additional payment that our users will have to make, which we hope to avoid, which is why we provide wired mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. So you get a compact keyboard and a basic wired mouse.
Right. Thank you.
No problem. Yes, so that concludes our presentation. But of course, we are here if you have any more questions. We are happy to answer. And otherwise, we have the coupon codes in the chat. We also have some poll questions, I think, that Soumya has been sending. I hope you've been able to respond to those. Otherwise, you could just drop in your name, phone number, email ID, and we will follow up with you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining, and we're very glad that all of you could make it and be a part of our virtual launch.